Hello and welcome to episode 123 of Comics with Stevey D. And today our featured hero is going to be The Thing, Ben Grimm. He first appeared in comic books in Fantastic Four #1 from 1961. He was created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. And I'm showing that image because I'd have to sell my house to buy that comic book. Okay. Alrighty. I'll put that up there and give you a little more information about Benjamin Jacob Grimm. Grew up on Yancey Street in poverty. His brother, who Ben idolized, was killed in a gang fight before his eyes. Later, his parents were killed. He moved in with his aunt and uncle, who gave him love and support. In his high school, he played football and eventually earned a scholarship. When he went to college, he was roommates with Reed Richards. Ben asked Reed what he was going to do after college. Reed said he was going to build a spaceship and fly to the stars. Ben said if he built it, he would fly it. They became fast friends. After college, Ben enlisted in the U.S. military and became a pilot, then later a test pilot, and finally an astronaut. Reed built his spaceship and made an unauthorized flight before the project was shut down. The Marvel was the name of the spacecraft. The ship passed through a cosmic storm, causing it to crash land back on Earth. The four mutated into Sue, the Invisible Girl, Reed, Mr. Fantastic, Johnny into the Human Torch, and Ben into the Thing of the Fantastic, and the Fantastic Four was formed. Alicia Masters was Ben's main love interest, and eventually they married. And he referred to himself as the ever-loving blue-eyed thing. So, you've been looking at The Thing #1 from 1983, cover art by Ron Wilson. And I mentioned that his brother got killed in a gang fight, and in this episode it shows it. So, it's like the Sharks and Jets from West Side Story, kind of right there. They square off like that. But then they go into battle, not into the song. And his brother was murdered by one of the other gang members. And Ben witnessed it as an 8-year-old boy, and he joined into the fight, and the police came and caught him, and most of the gang members ran away, but he was too small. Okay, here's our next book. Fantastic Four #350 from 1988. Cover art by Keith Poland and Joe Sinnott. And this is one of the versions of the Thing you see. This one I like to call Volcanic Mountain Thing. But the reason he's so extra gruesome in this one is because this was a space story, and he had flown back through cosmic rays again, and him and Miss Marvel were hit by cosmic rays, and Ben knows because he's been through it before, and he's screaming, "No, no!" And what happened to him? He mutated even further into this form, where he's all like spines. And here's a full page of what happened to him. And there's a kind of a joke in here, but now there's what he looked like. And Miss Marvel, she turned into a sexy version of the Thing. I don't know how permanent this was, but it was just interesting to show that. All right, our next book, I'm showing my collection of basically Fantastic Four magazines, because that's where he appeared mostly. This is Domination Factor 2.3. Okay, from 1999, cover art by Dan Jurgens and Bob McLeod. And I tried to pick books that showed various expressions. And if there's one like, oh no, look what's happening here expression. All right, here's a good book. Ultimate Fantastic Four #1 from 2004. Cover art by Brian Hitch. And he's got a different expression. Even though he's basically a rock monster, originally he had the height of a dinosaur, but as the effects of the cosmic radiation hit him, he mutated further into a more rock-structured exterior with a heart of gold. All right? And one thing about the Thing is there's always a sense of humor in him. Even though he's can fight the Hulk and he's tremendously strong and he never gives up and he can't stand Dr. Doom, there's still humor in his comic books. And this is Contagion #1, cover art by Ryan Brown. It's a variant cover, and he's being attacked by these mole man's contaminated little creatures. And in here, I have a real cool picture of the mole man. The mole man always looks silly to me in the cartoons, but here he really looks villainous, you know. And Fantastic Four #1 of 6, the end. Fighting with their ultimate bad villain, which Ben Grimm can't stand, from every cell in his body can't stand, Dr. Victor Von Doom. And this is from 2007, cover art by Alan Davis. And the reason I picked this book, not only because of Dr. Doom, it shows one of the rare times where Ben Grimm mutates back into his normal self. And it's kind of torturous for him because he becomes the man, the human that he is inside for a brief time, and it always reverts back to the Thing. And Dr. Doom is kind of like, there's some great artwork in there. Always like, with Dr. Doom, you always get the eyeball scene, you know. You can almost see into the mask to see how his face is damaged. Moving on. This is a cool book right here. You can see Ben Grimm's reflection in the eye of a spacecraft dragon. And speaking of dragons, it reminds me of Mon Comics, Brandon. He's going to have me on his Big 5 Live on December 20th. So We'll be showing off some books and having some fun talking about comic books. But if you look real close at this image, you can, I don't know if it's picking up, every one of those facets in the spacecraft's eye is a reflection of Ben Grimm. And why I mentioned dragons was, here's another one for Brandon to collect. Ultimate Fantastic Four number 18. There is a spacecraft from the negative zone full of aliens chasing Ben Grimm as a test pilot and astronaut pilot, and he's flying the space shuttle. You can see it down here in the corner, being chased by and they're in Las Vegas, and he has to land the spaceship on the Vegas Strip. So he's crash landing the space shuttle on the Las Vegas Strip, which is amusing, and he comes to rest right there, and these iconic Las Vegas street scenes. Moving on. Ultimate Fantastic Four number 28. From 2006, cover art by Greg Millar. And they're battling the Super Skrull. And the Super Skrull can combine all the powers of the Fantastic Four to battle the Fantastic Four. Okay. And this is Ultimate Fantastic Four number 33. From 2006. Cover art by Pasquale Ferry. And what does Ben Grimm do when he relaxes? Just like millions and millions of people on Earth. Him and Johnny Storm play video games. And I like to call this Ben Grimm chillin'. And there he is. And the thing about Ben Grimm, he's in the family of the Richards. He's a godfather and uncle to Sue and Reed's children. And so it's a very family-orientated comic book where they always have trouble. Okay, our next book is Ultimate Fantastic Four, number 50 from 2008, and cover art by Pasquale Ferry. No, I'm sorry. Number 50, cover art by Marco Djurjevic. And I like this. I picked this cover because Ben Grimm has a mean face. They all have a very forceful face, but Ben Grimm's is monstrous. And so you could see him. There's a good view right there. Now that's as scary as the Hulk right there. And coming up to the last book, this is Fantastic Four Ultimate. Fantastic Four number 42. And from 2007, cover art by Pasquale Ferry. And what else does Ben Grimm like to do? He likes to play poker. And when he plays poker, it's always something interferes with the game to cause an adventure of some sort or another. And before he was married, and him and people like Logan and the Punisher and Other various lonely bachelors get together on Christmas Eve. It's a poker game organized by Jarvis, the butler, at the Avengers Mansion, but it's not always at the Avengers Mansion because it's a floating poker game. So I just like to show you how he likes to play poker. Here's a panel of him playing poker and blowing a bubble. He's having a lot of fun, and you can see him like it's all these cliched poker hands and wild cards. And when Benjamin Grimm fights, goes into battle, he usually has this saying, "It's clobbering time." And he gets ready to rumble, and you better look out because unless you're the Hulk, you're in big trouble, you know. He's one of the few characters that can go against the Hulk, but even though the Hulk's still stronger. So I'd like to thank everybody who's been watching these videos, and please like and subscribe. I always forget to say that. So I can grow my channel a little bit. I'm at 70 subscribers now. I never thought anybody would watch these when I started making these over a little over a year ago. And I'm happy that I have those people subscribing and people that have popped in. There's been 4,500 views, which sounds great to me considering I didn't think anybody would watch them, you know. So I'm very happy about that, and I'm very happy about the friends I've made in the comic book community, and they all have great shows, and I think we inspire each other to make shows. And this one was a request show from Son of Crom, the Conan the Barbarian collector, and Batman and Spider-Man and whatever he feels like that week. He's a fun, interesting show to watch. Well, anyway, I plug that. So take care, everybody, and enjoy your comic book pursuits. Take care.